And for more, we bring back ABC News contributor Shawna Lloyd, an attorney with the Cochran firm. Shawna, good to see you. Thanks for being with us again tonight. As Terry reports, this verdict is relief for some, outrage for others. Let's start with the reason the jurors acquitted him. Even if people are sitting at home thinking, hey, we would have never brandished a gun in a situation like that, never taken shots either. The case largely came down to what Rittenhouse himself thought and felt in those moments, right?
Absolutely, Phil. This case boils down to where he was when he had to take that form of lethal action, right? So what we're looking at is the circumstances surrounding him. We have to remember that it is a subjective standard, which means the jurors are going to be asked to look at where he was, what his situation was, and look through his eyes to determine whether or not the use of force was necessary. So we have to remember that. We also have to remember that the state has the burden here. The defense could not have put on any case at all, but the state must refute that he needed to have that self-defense. And here the jury came to the conclusion that self-defense was necessary in the particular instance that Kyle was in. Now, of course, the other hand, there are going to be a number of people that are going to say this verdict doesn't address the fact that he was 17 years old at the time. He had a high-powered firearm, and that he brought himself to the situation. And I think that when those individuals are looking at this particular verdict, they're going to not feel as though this verdict was just. So it's a little bit on each side there.
You talk about the jury having to look through his eyes. They also had to hear his voice. Certainly a gamble for any defendant to take the stand, but Rittenhouse took the stand, and we saw those tears. Do you think the decision to testify in this case was a game changer?
Absolutely. Anytime you have self-defense, it is you that the jury wants to hear from, because they have this subjective standard. So they want to know what you were thinking, what you were feeling, what was going through your mind, and how you felt. And I think that Kyle on the stand was able to connect with the jurors who, let's remember, are from the very same local area and may have had feelings about the individuals that were coming to protest. And he connected with them for them to feel that he was in a place where he felt he had no option.
Shawna, we heard Terry talk about this a little bit, and there will be some people who say race shouldn't have, or didn't play a role in this, but there is a lot of anger tonight. So just let me ask you right out, if Kyle Rittenhouse was black and he had the same jury makeup, only one person of color on that jury, do you think the verdict would have been the same?
I do not. In this country, and statistically, African-American and brown people typically get higher sentences. They are treated differently by the judicial system, and that's just a fact that is well documented. And I think that race always plays a part in this, because when jurors are looking at the defendant, they want to be able to understand him. And here they have a young man that likely looks like their son. He looks like their nephew. Is this someone that they can relate to, and that they felt that what he was saying was true, and they identified with that? So race always plays an instant. Even if it's not at the forefront, it's always in the back of our minds whenever jurors and any individual is encountering a situation.
Finally, Kyle Rittenhouse made a deliberate and, of course, fateful choice to bring that gun to a police protest and brandish it in a crowd. So do you think the takeaway for some people here is going to be that this kind of vigilantism is perfectly legal now in America?
I think that some people are going to walk away from this verdict and feel much more comfortable in arming themselves going into situations that may be volatile or could turn dangerous. I think that this is going to send a different message. However, I think that we have to really look at this in the totality of the circumstance and understand that although this particular instance they found self-defense, that is not the takeaway message from this. I think we also need to look at the broader picture. I think there's going to be a number of people that are going to want to address this, the gun issues in America, underage individuals with weapons, high-powered firearms, and their ability to have them in these very volatile and dangerous situations.
All right, Channa Lloyd, thanks so much for the analysis. Really helps understanding the verdict. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, Phil.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.